Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from a Shared Universe podcast studio, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop Podcast.
Hey, it's Taylor from Calling the Shots.
Hey, this is Steve from Calling the Shots.
Hey, what's up? It's Mike from the Pizza Beer Revolution podcast.
Hi, this is Derek D from PBR Podcast and DerekG.com, of course. And you are listening to Talking Codswallop. Talking Codswallop. How you guys doing? This is great. This is the POTUS. It's President of the United States, Donald. You're looking to wallop the swallowing. That's what you're listening to. It's great. I gotta tell you, the swallop of the wall is great. I love walls. And the cod wallop, it's swallop. Fantastic. You're listening to it. Wallops, cods. Fish, walls, swallows.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma. James? Andy? Where are you guys? Oh no, it seems like they're not here. What's happened? Oh, they can't have left me. But, oh, wait, who's this that's looking straight at me? No, it's Alex from the Thors-Kin podcast.
Hey, how's it going? You're right. It's weird, right? You do that sort of thing. You expect an applause, even though you know you're not going to get one. You expect an applause, and it's like, where is it? Where has everybody gone? What's going on?
Yeah.
The other two have been kidnapped. I'll put them in my basement. I hope that's okay. Just for today.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely fine. To be honest, they're normally in the cupboard under the stairs with mine. So, you know, obviously, yeah, it's a little break for them.
I thought I'd give them a bit of Shrewsbury hospitality.
Oh, lovely.
Welcome to my basement. I don't even have a basement, but that's just adds to the effect. It's quite funny.
Well, I don't even have stairs, so I don't know where the cupboard under the stairs is.
Are you in a bungalow?
I'm in a bungalow, I am.
Bungalow. I thought I'd fill in.
Oh, dear. So, but on a serious note, Andy and James are not well this week, so big thank you to Alex for stepping in and taking on the role of helping me out with this, because otherwise I'd be talking to myself. Which is not cool.
It's what we do. It's what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did you want to sort of say a little bit about yourself, like your podcasts and things, before we sort of get into good old natter?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. My name's Alex Whiteley. I am the self-professed pod king. The guys always give me a ribbon about that, but like I do two shows. The first show I did is, and still do, is the Thors-Kin podcast.
Yep.
It's a show that I do with, there's me, there's Tom in Vermont, and there's Shane that comes on sometimes. So we call him sometimes Shane. And it's very R-rated kind of look at the week. We have a saying now. It's called It's done Thors-Kin style because we just don't take anything seriously at all.
Yeah.
There's no holes barred, and sometimes it goes a little bit too far, even for me. You know, I'm kind of like, oh.
And yet you don't edit it out, which is brilliant.
No. I try not to. There were some things I had to. I was doing this thing the other day. I was looking for my vape juice. I don't know if you do it when you're sort of searching for something around the kitchen and you're sort of singing to yourself, I need a spoon for my tea, you know, and I was going, I need my juice to have a vape. Who am I going to have to rape? Just rhyming in my head.
Yeah, I heard it.
Did you hear it? Oh my God. I was like, Jesus Christ. And Moose had started streaming, so that went all over Tinternet. I just want all my millions of fans to know that I don't condone rape, especially not for vape juice, because vaping is for cunts, okay?
Actually, talking about vaping, because I'm a fully fledged smoker, and obviously you're doing the good thing of trying to give up there. Or giving up, shall I say. Unless, of course, you have to dress up in drag, which we'll get into. But yeah, obviously there's been lots of reports lately with regards to like vape juice and things like that.
There has.
But it's more in America than the UK, I think, isn't it?
I think what they've done is they've rounded it down to third-party fake THC cartridges that people are buying for cheaper. And I think what's happened is the nicotine companies have so much influence on the media that they've jumped on it and they've gone, oh, outrage. Oh, you need to stop vaping. And what's going to happen if people stop vaping? They go back onto cigarettes. It's a very clever plan.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
America doing what America does best. They get an outrage about something, and like 11 people have died compared to the millions of people that die from smoking every year. Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I've been on the sort of the fence about vaping for a while, because it's like in my head I think, well, I know how bad cigarettes are, but I don't know what's in the vape stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you know exactly what's in your cigarettes?
No, but I know that they're going to kill me. And yet we're starting on a morbid part of the show.
It's like a running theme. No, seriously, like I've been vaping for about 2 years. I do have the odd cigarette now and again. Yeah, I don't see it as a big deal. I'd rather have a couple of cigarettes now and again than go out and blow my money on a pouch of tobacco or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a cheaper way of living, baby.
Yeah. Oh, well, you might convince me one day. You never know.
Yeah. Although I do feel like an arsehole. You know, when you vape, as you're walking down the streets and you blow your vape out and you look behind you and there's a mom behind you with a buggy and all that vape's just hit her straight in the fucking schnozzle. And you're like, oh, sorry, love.
I know. It's a bit like, there's a guy at work who does it as well. And, it was a bit like you've just done there. You're like a dragon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not very, I mean, they've got these little ones now that everybody's got. They're like they almost look like, you know, those big highlighters that you can get for the office.
Yep.
They looks like them, and they're very cute little, and your tiny little bit of a vape comes out. But I kind of like having a big fuck off mammoth cloud of smoke just come out of me. I don't know, man. I like looking scary to children, I guess. So
yeah, why not? Who doesn't want to be a dragon? Let's face it.
I'm still alive, don't worry.
You are still alive. And that's brilliant. Talking about being alive as well, because obviously last week I wasn't very well, as well, our listeners know. I don't know if you listen to our show, but I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Huh?
Do you listen to our show?
I've listened to a couple of. I listened to the one where Mike from Comic Book Men was on, and I've listened to a couple of your episodes, but I didn't listen to last week. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, last week there wasn't one anyway. There was one the week before.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll let you off because you're here, and I won't make you feel bad. But I might do later. You know.
I'll explain why I don't do podcasts anymore in a sec.
Okay, but I wanted to share because I was really not so. There was one week where I wasn't very well, and Andy was busy with work, and James could have recorded, but he couldn't because he was on his own. But yeah, anyway, so that week I came up with a little rhyme, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to pull it up. That's what she said.
Play that shit. Wicka, 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 wicka.
Okay, so this is to be sung to the tune of Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. Okay?
Okay, let's just pretend that's playing.
Yeah. Hello darkness, my old friend. Right, so this is my lyrics. Hello toilet, my old friend. I've come to shit on you again. There can't be anything left inside. I'm feeling like my soul has died, and the toilet paper is ripping my arse to shreds. No one cares in the sound of illness. Thank you very much. Thank you. But yeah, I came up with that rhyme because that is how horrible I was feeling, but I wanted to cheer myself up and make myself laugh. So
here's a question though. Did you come up with that rhyme whilst you're on the toilet?
I did for the first paragraph, for the first couple of lines. Yeah, it wasn't fun sitting on the toilet with a bucket. Let's put it that way. No. but all good now.
You're feeling better now then, yeah? You're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lost 10 pounds, so, that's always good as well.
That's a lot of shit, man.
Oh, dear. And also a mutual listener of ours is very excited that this episode is happening, by the way. Can you guess who that one might
be?
Yes.
Is it the great and powerful Graham Arnold by any chance?
It is, yes.
Oh, I love that guy. That motherfucker's so cool. He's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just got too much time on his hands. I keep saying to him, like, he makes all these posters and he's great and everything, but I'm like, dude, come on. But he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does them for us as well, which, he's cheating on you. No.
You know what? If anybody out there gets creative because of something they've heard, I always encourage it more. So
yeah, me too.
Well done, Graham. Well done.
Yeah, no, he is. And I met him at when Kevin and Ralph came over?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went to the London show together, and also then was at the Ralph Report as well. So it was quite nice. I've actually met him, yeah. The funniest part is I actually thought he was you.
Yeah. I heard this.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It was because he was giving out Thors-Kin, or Thors-Kin stickers. So, and I just assumed. And then the next day I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I was so drunk last night.
Well, he's a good looking chap. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's a good guy, Graham. And people like that do attach to themselves to your show. They're an absolute treasure. They don't understand. I don't think Graham understands what it means to, like, you or me, to have him attached to the show and put so much effort into what he does. Yeah. It makes our show so much easier. It makes us really appreciate that we're actually reaching out to people, and it means a lot. So, me joking about Graham and stuff like that, really, seriously, thank you so much, buddy. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, I second that. And there you go. It's a bit because he loves my giggles, so there's a giggle for him as well. Right, so as you may or may not know, we start every episode with What a Load of Codswallop, where we have a moment where we can rant and rave about anything that's pissed us off during the week. So, Alex, have you got anything that may have annoyed you this week?
It hasn't annoyed me this week, but I've got to explain. It is a big annoyance of mine. Okay. At the moment, I'm going through CBT therapy, and if anybody's ever been through it, there's a lot of soul searching going on, and you look for things that have pissed you off in the past. Yeah. And I remember this particular time I went to this really nice cafe, and I asked for a strawberry milkshake, and I was thinking I was going to get one of those $5 milkshakes, y'all, from Pulp Fiction. She pulled out the Crusher milkshake, and I paid like £4 for a Crusher milkshake. And Crusher milkshake is basically like squash or cordial for milkshake. You literally just pour it in the glass, you pour the milk on top, there's your milkshake. Off you fuck. So Crusher milkshake in a cafe. It's really weird how I was going through this therapy, and I just remembered that moment of being so disappointed sitting at my table watching this broad making a Crusher milkshake after, oh God. So yeah, Crusher milkshake is one of the biggest disappointments in my life ever.
I agree.
It's a load of codswallop. That's what it is.
Yeah. And it's got almost next to no flavour to it either, is it?
No, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's like cat piss. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Well, like strawberry flavour cat piss, but yeah, nonetheless, cat piss.
It's as if a cat ate a load of strawberries and then had a piss, yeah?
That's a very good accent.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, I've got some codswallop this week. I'm not going to use all 5 of the ones that I mentioned that I have. I'm just going to use a couple of them. One of which is, are you aware of a inverted commas or air quotes celebrity Gemma Collins?
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That cunt.
Okay, brilliant. Right, well, so we've got the same viewpoint on it. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely hate the fact that my name is Gemma, and I hate that she spells it the same way. This is the only time that I wish she spelled it with a J, because that's the bane of my life as well, that I have to go, oh, it's Gemma with a G, like every couple of seconds on the phone.
I think all that Towie lot should be Breaking Bad style in a barrel,
Yes.
In the back of not to get too morbid, I'm really not going to do it, but if someone did do it, it just makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all a bunch of assholes. I can't stand them.
No, I really can't stand them either. And the reason why I'm bringing her up this time, though, is because she has entered into our world and she has now become a podcaster. And it really, 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 really annoys me because she's like protected by the big organization like ITV or BBC and things like that. So she's been put top of the charts and her podcast is crap and it's her voice and horrible.
Well, Towie was one of the biggest programs to ever brace the TV. It doesn't matter how much of a pile of shit it was. A lot of people watch it. Like a lot of people watch the Kardashians. Like a lot of people watch a lot of the shit. Like, it's trash TV that people love to just mong out to. And they're going to associate that with the podcast that she puts together. And yeah, it's just a wrong type of, you can make a podcast about anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to make a podcast about horse shit, you can make a podcast about horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wiping bums, as I... yeah. But the other thing is well connected to it. And I should also give because I was listening to another podcast, which is called Neil Velio, and it's Too Good for Radio. That's his podcast name. And, basically, yeah, he sort of played a couple of clips with his Gemma Collins talking. Anyway, but, yeah, it was the fact that if anybody puts any negative reviews on that podcast, they're being paid to being deleted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just don't agree with that. 100% don't agree with that.
I don't. Part of our world, the podcasting world, there's lots of fuckery that goes on with like the iTunes ratings, things like that.
Yeah.
People like, give me a good rating and I'll give you a good rating. Like my Twitter and I'll like your Twitter. I don't like all that shit. I think things should be just organic, And when you start doing stuff like that, it ruins it for everyone else, especially on a big scale like I imagine she's got. It leaves a horrible taste in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't, like in regards to if you're going to give someone a review or whatever, I kind of on the, again, I'm on the fence a little bit with that because it kind of helps. But at the same time, I never leave a review unless I've actually listened to the podcast because then it's a real review. It's a genuine, honest review. Whereas you can read the bog standard, like, everybody, this is a great podcast. You should really listen. Oh, you just cut and paste that from the other one that you wrote, didn't you?
And the thing is, Apple, Podbean, all these people, they can tell when they're fake ones because of the algorithms. Mm-hmm. If somebody that hasn't actually been on, if you get loads of people that don't actually tune into your podcast, yet leave loads of reviews, they know they get like a bogus feeling about it because nobody's watching your podcast, yet you've got 1,000 good reviews.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Exactly. So
I heard a story about her as well. It's one of those front page gossip magazine things as well. I don't know whether it's true, but apparently like she's like lost loads of weight, yeah, and she's got like really skinny. And she's like a chin matches, it droops onto her chest now and all sorts of shit.
What, a bit like fat bastard out of
yeah.
What's it called?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, yeah.
Yeah, she's got 6 titties. Anyway, anyway, if she's gonna have a baby, she wants to have a baby, she'd do it through a surrogate because she doesn't want to ruin her new body. And I was just think, what a cunt. What a cunt. Like, this is the most natural thing a human can do. And you're that, I hate it. I hate all that Towie shit. It was really bad.
Yeah, I really do too. I was just Googling pictures of her, but she still looks like a fat fuck, to be honest, so.
It doesn't matter what she looks like.
And I sort of just want to very quickly stand by that, just quickly say that I am also a fat fuck, so, I'm not dissing her because of that. It's just her personality that I don't like.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter. That's what I was about to say before you said that. It doesn't matter what she looks like. It doesn't matter what her weight is. From what I've seen in the press and things like that, she's just not a nice person, that's all.
No. Not at all. Anyway, let's move on because we don't want to talk about her all evening. And my second codswallop this week is farmers that sprayed their fields with cow shit. I know the reason why they do it, but oh my God, it stinks.
Yeah, I get you. I feel that. And it's one of those weird things, you know. My dad lives in Ireland, and when I was a kid, he used to live like out in the sticks in Ireland, which is like farm territory. And one of the times he actually lived on a farm. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. So the smell hits you like, you know, like a hockey stick in the face. But yeah, it's one of those things. After like 2 days of being at my dad's on that farm, you don't even smell it anymore.
No, you don't. If you're constantly there, you definitely don't, because I used to work at a hotel that was surrounded by fields and farms, and it was a constant thing that you could smell it. But at the same time, I'd barely smell it as much as other people. But yeah, there's this one field that when I'm driving home, it's like, oh, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And then I have to sort of the window's shut anyway, but the aircon's on. So it comes straight into the car. And then half an hour later, the smell leaves. And it's so rank.
Here's a question for you though. Would you rather them spread human shit?
No, no, I would not. I'd rather do an odorless one.
Yeah, on my crops, we spread the potpourri on my crops. I like it smelling nice.
Do you know what? Actually, you doing that accent, it's always reminded me that when I was a kid, I probably was about 7 or 8. I was watching the news and there was a farmer on there, and the story is that basically this aeroplane had crashed into his field, and said the person is interviewing the farmer, and he goes, he thought there were a pig on the roof. And it's like, so it's been like a running thing in our family now that we always go, Wi-Fi, we're a pig on roof.
Well, where my dad lives is County Cork in Ireland.
Okay.
And a deep Cork accent is very much like the Irish version of a Cornwall accent.
Yeah.
But when they're like deep in farm country, you can't understand what they're saying because they talk so fast, and what you get the sheep on the field, and I kind of catch them, and they talk so fast people can't understand. Even the locals can't understand what the fuck they're saying. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So don't worry for our international listeners. I'll put subtitles up at that bit. But yeah, no, it's strong accents are very hard, aren't they?
Yeah. So, I mean, where I am right now, you've got your choice. Obviously, you got the Brummie accent, you know. They got a really deep Brummie accent. Sometimes that's quite nice. That's not too bad. It's the yam Wolverhampton. All right, yeah, you're all right. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. It's the worst.
Yeah, that's kind of a mixture between Birmingham and Manchester, isn't it? That accent.
Yeah, it's like, and it kind of gets softer and softer as you get towards like Telford, which is round by me.
Yeah.
And they've got an, I don't know what the fuck accent though. It's just kind of like weird amalgamation of all kind of different areas. It's crazy. Yeah.
But it's also like, obviously I've got the Dorset accent, and, but I'm kind of I have got the accent, but I haven't got it as harsh as other people in the area, because I've almost sort of worked on it so that I don't have the accent as strongly. But, you know, it's kind of like when people are actually talking from Dorset, they sound so thick. And it's just like, we're not. Well, some people are, but we're not thick. But, you know, it's just crazy.
I was quite lucky because I started off in Telford, then I moved to Wrexham, which is like North Wales.
Yep, I know it.
And then back to Telford. So I've got like a mixture between the accents, but they kind of cancel each other out. I haven't got like a proper like Telford accent, but I don't have a proper Wrexham one either. And they're both bullshit accents. I'm not going to lie. So it's not bad. You know?
Oh dear. But no, it's all good. So I'm intrigued because you touched upon it earlier. Why don't you listen to podcasts?
I just, because I got 2 podcasts. One of which is extremely, extremely busy. I'm looking at my calendar right here, and it's absolutely chock-a-block. So when I'm not recording, I'm editing.
Is that sorry to interrupt, is that the Shrewsbury?
The Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Biscuit, yeah. Yeah, because I was saying earlier that I wasn't sure if it was Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury.
That's a big topic, man. That's
Yeah.
that's one of them. You ask people locals around here, and it's a class thing. And a lot of people say it's to do with the river because the river's in like a loop.
Okay.
And if you live outside the loop in the posh areas or whatever, you're going to call it Shrewsbury. If you're from inside the loop, it's Shrewsbury. But I call it Shrewsbury.
Okay, that's cool. So we call it the same thing, so that's fine. So what's on your agenda then? What's on the calendar? Because I really interrupted as you were saying something.
No, I mean, the busy part of my week has gone now. Thank God. I mean, yesterday I had a busy day. I spoke to a local historian yesterday and a lady who's like a pillar of the community. You know, she's got like tens of thousands of people on like the biggest Shrewsbury based group, I guess. And then the next day I had, a presenter from BBC Shropshire come round and he did an interview. I've done a lot of editing today in a cafe. I sat in a cafe for 2 hours editing. And then tomorrow I've got Oktoberfest. So I'm going to be getting fucked up. Yeah.
Amazing.
Press passage into Oktoberfest. Maybe do a couple of recordings before I'm shit-faced.
You should do some before and some after.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
That'd be
I think you should do that. Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
You probably get deleted, but
And that's one of the best things about what I do is I get to go to the local events. Shrewsbury's a festival town, man.
Okay.
They've got loads going on here, and I get to go in and just take part. And I went to the flower show, which was in August, and I got to interview Scouting for Girls. It was amazing. They were like, "Do you want to interview Scouting for Girls?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, why not? Yeah, if the opportunity arises, why not go for it? That's what I say. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I thought Thors-Kin would be the show to go boom, you know?
Yeah.
It's a transatlantic show. We've got listeners both sides of the pond, but it's actually the local show that's just gone absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's amazing.
Oh, that's good. It's probably because it's like more of the locals are kind of listening to that as well because they're proud of where they come from as well. So,
yeah, they're proud about their town. They're proud of their town, and we get listeners all around the world, probably people that used to live here that live around the world now. And yeah, people are so proud of the place. I'm the only guy that's doing it. So naturally, it's just, hello, I'm here.
yeah. Yeah. It's a bit like, I think you know Squee, don't you?
Doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell.
Does Ian Shaw ring a bell?
Ian Shaw, yeah.
Yeah, okay. His podcast name is Squee. So, so I think you know Squee, don't you?
Yeah. It's a brand favorite of mine. I know Ian Shaw. He was a mutual friend because of you, and I added him, but I've never really followed anything he does. But I will.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I won't.
Oh no, that's fine. What I was going to say is that he's got a podcast which is all about due south.
Oh right, okay.
And
that's cool.
nobody else has done this podcast, but they also drink rum while they're recording as well. So it's kind of,
wow.
Basically they're drunk discussing about due south, which is kind of fun. So, yeah, chaotic.
Sounds great.
Very chaotic.
I have got the deepest respect for anybody that makes that kind of show because me and Tom from Thors-Kin started doing a Futurama one.
Okay.
And we started going for every single sort of couple of episodes of Futurama. It is so hard. It's so hard. You got to sit, make notes. There's like a quiz at the end. You know, you've got to be on the ball because if you let the ball slip, then the fans will be on your back. You're full of shit. You don't know your stuff. Blah 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 blah. So we did season 1. I was like, I can't do anymore, man. It's hard. So respect to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got to. Yeah, you definitely got to know what you're talking about, haven't you, when you do that kind of thing? So, but I think it's also like with us, we do the occasional, it's not as regular anymore, but we do the occasional film review and things like that. And yeah, like when we're watching the film, it's more our feelings about it rather than actually what we watched, you know, because we do discuss the film, of course, but it is more just like a load of feelings and opinions on it rather than anything else.
We did do because we're friends with the great and powerful Eric Pfluger, and we did the Star Wars special, Volume 1. We did episodes 1, 2, and 3, and the idea was to spend a good hour talking about each episode. When it came to doing Volume 2, last week, Eric wasn't happy with that. He wanted to really spend his time he's like a professor on this shit, man. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
We recorded a 5-hour-long podcast on episodes 4, 5, and 6. I tell you what, my ass was numb by the time we finished.
I can imagine. It's a good job you've got your vapor or vapor, whatever they're called. Yeah, because I would have been dying for a cigarette by that time.
Yeah, there were a couple of piss breaks. You know, it's a good job we can press pause on these things. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also, like, just talking about nerdy stuff now, because obviously you've got a podcast, as I and yourself keep referencing, you know, there's your podcast, Thors-Kin, which I'm obviously assuming that you are big into either comic books or comic book films.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't read the comics personally because I know what kind of personality I've got, that I'm very addictive, and I like to collect a lot of things, which you could probably see a load of stuff behind me here. Funko Pops and all God knows what. So if I started reading comics, it would probably be, I'd be in thousands of pounds of debt in a week.
Game over.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to pick up a media that you're not used to as well. I mean, I have got the odd comic book scattered around. I mean, it's kind of what I do, you know. I mean, I interviewed John Wagner, who invented Judge Dredd the other day, and that's because he's local. Yeah. He's local, you know. But I don't have time to sit and read comic books anymore. I used to.
No.
And when we do our things, we always say that we don't have a doctorate in geek. We just talk about what we know and what we like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's the right thing to do, because I love Marvel films. I'm more Marvel than DC, but I was interested which you were. Are you more Marvel or more DC, or are you just happy in the middle, sorry?
I enjoy what I enjoy, and all this Marvel DC stuff is, I mean, I have a bat toilet. I have a toilet that is literally wall-to-wall Batman. Yeah. I love me some Batman. But I also
got beer glass as well with Batman on, which I saw.
Everything is Batman, you know? Yeah. But I love Marvel, and I love Spawn. I love the old Constantine, the Vertigo, and I like Judge Dredd. I like 2000 AD is amazing. Like, if anybody's ever not read one, you should definitely read that. You know, I like this divide between Marvel and DC. It's like the Oasis Blur thing, you know?
Yeah. Back in the day, yeah.
You're kind of encouraged to choose one or the other. I'm like, nah, fuck you, man. I choose both, bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, good for you. Good for you for not deciding. Don't pick a side.
I mean, like, as far as the movie's concerned, DC knocked the fuck out of Marvel when it comes to the animated movies. They make the best animated movies. But MCU, nobody can touch the MCU. You know, they are where they are because they make amazing movies. That's it, you know?
Yeah, because, you know, you got the DC films and whatnot. DC films, which are kind of more on the darker side, aren't they?
Some, yes. I mean, Shazam kind of broke the mold.
Definitely did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe like Harley Quinn, you know, like Harley Quinn, because obviously she's quite, you know, she's quite dark in nature, but she's quite bright in colour. So
I like Harley Quinn. I think the Suicide Squad movie was a lot of lot of posing. Yeah, a lot of codswallop. I will say that. It was a lot of codswallop. I liked certain bits. I like the bits where you see Batman catching people and, you know, things like that. I loved all that sort of stuff, but I thought the movie was a whole lot of walking and looking up at the sky and all this sort of stuff. I was kind of like, this is a little wank. Yeah, it wasn't for me.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I actually did quite enjoy Suicide Squad, but then I haven't got the background connection with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I didn't really know who they were, so I was literally going in a bit blindsided. So,
yeah, I've read a bit of Suicide Squad, and one of the first comics for the New 52 is they dropped them into a stadium of 60,000 people that had all been zombified.
Oh, right.
So they had to their job was to take out 60,000 people. And it was amazing. It was just amazing. And it played a lot like the movie. And I wanted them to do it like they did it in the comic book, and they just didn't do it for me. It was kind of like, it was just a bit flat for me, that's all.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that is it, isn't it? Because it's a lot of people like sort of swerving off of comic books here. But, you know, when you go to see a film that is based on a book.
This is a bad subject to get me on, by the way, because one of the things I rant a lot about on Thors-Kin is Jack fucking Reacher. And that's because they got a midget like Tom Cruise to play a guy that's cast in the books as a 6'2", fair-haired, 40-year-old ex-military cop. And I have hated that. Every single second of Tom Cruise playing that character, I've hated it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate Tom Cruise, full stop. But yeah, so I think we've got the same viewpoint on that one. And it puts me off watching his films because actually as an actor, he's not that bad, but I don't like him, you know? Although Andy, one of my co-hosts, would say that you definitely don't need to have aerodynamic. What is it? Aerodynamics? Is it for running?
Yeah, it's like symmetry.
Yeah,
you don't need,
yeah. Because Andy is a big runner, and he said, you know, before, you don't need your hands to be like that. You can just flap them around if you want to.
I get what you mean. He's one of the most prolific runners on movies. Like the amount of things you got on YouTube of just him running.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever. Better than the movies that he's made.
I know. It's like, it's kind of Mission Impossible. I probably would watch if he wasn't in it. But yeah I've never watched it.
He's done a couple of good movies. I quite like Interview the Vampire. I thought that was a good film.
I did like that one. Yeah, I really did like that one.
Was that Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Tom Cruise. It was Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, wasn't it? He played Lestat, and he was brilliant at that. He was really, really good at that.
Yeah, and also he was quite good in Cocktail as well. Have you ever seen Cocktail?
I've never seen that, and people are like, "You need to watch Cocktail." I'm like, "Do I? Do I really? Do I really need to go out and buy it right now?"
I mean, you don't have to, but it is quite a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, one day. Maybe
don't go out and buy it. Maybe see if you can pirate it.
I'll rip that motherfucker out.
There you go. That's your watching material for tonight.
I wanted to watch the new Rocket Man movie. I thought it was on Now TV, but it's not. I really want to watch that. Rocket Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on yet at all, is it? Well, it's out on DVD now, isn't it? But yeah, yeah. I am actually quite looking forward to seeing that because I'm a big Elton fan. But yeah, I just never got around to actually watching it in the cinema. So
I like Taron Egerton. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's going to be one of the biggest actors on the planet. I mean, he's already nearly there, you know.
Yeah,
he's got an amazing talent.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if there was like a clip as well where they, both him and Elton actually sang together, and they sound, incredible how much he sounded like Elton.
Well, that's the reason why he's got this part is because of his role in Sing. The movie Sing.
Okay.
He played the gorilla in Sing, and he sang Elton John, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what?" And then Elton John was dropping little breadcrumbs through like some of Taron's movies. Like, so in there was rumors that he was going to play this Elton John biopic movie, and everyone was like, "No, it's not going to happen." And then in Kingsman 2, Elton John's at the end running away, and you see Elton John in the movie, and you're like, they've got to do this shit now.
Yeah.
They're fucking about too much. They've got to make this movie, and they did.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that they did. Definitely. Because he's just as big as Queen were, and obviously the Bohemian Rhapsody?
Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah.
Film, yeah. That was obviously a big hit as well. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
it was just his mouth. His mouth was just like, "Oh, yes, darling, yes." His teeth, you could tell the prosthetics were a little bit too big, you know. But he still did a good job. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he definitely did do a good job. But I actually saw it on the plane going over to America, so yeah, it was quite good for sort of entertainment purposes as well. But I really, really enjoyed it, and I actually thought that he did look quite a lot like him. But yeah, you're right, his mouth. But that had
just laughing about you watching In-Flight Sodomy.
Yeah, there was children behind me, in front of me, by the side of me.
Freddie, darling, you're gay.
Yeah, I didn't bother using headphones as well. I just turned it right up so that everyone could hear on the flight.
Hot wire it into the speakers that come over the plane. Like.
Yeah, that's it. But it's always good. It's always funny how where you actually watch films and stuff like that, isn't it? Because it was a big one that I wanted to see at the cinema, but I ended up watching it on the tiny little screen in a plane.
It is funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
I remember watching Iron Man 3 for the first time on a plane as well, and one of the best scenes out of the movie is when they all jump out the plane and they all hold hands and they all fall down together and he saves them all.
Yeah.
They cut that bit out of it because I was on a plane. They were like, well, we can't show a plane blowing up while people are on a plane. So they cut that bit. That's like the best scene of the whole fucking movie. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't censor my movies.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
How bloody dare you?
It's really bad, yeah.
But, I just absolutely love films though. Films and music, they're the things that I really love. So
I'll tell you what took me by surprise at the weekend. I went to watch the new Lion King, and I went to the Odeon in Telford, which is usually you need tetanus before you go in there, right? It was usually really bad, sticky carpets and all that.
Oh, lovely.
They tried a bit to sellotape the seats up at one point, and people, but they've just completely renovated the whole thing. I didn't even know they'd done it. And you walk in and it's like the most amazing cinema you've ever seen. And I don't know how they did it out of this shell of a building, but they got recliner seats now. They got the trays where you put it. It was amazing. And I went in wanting to hate this film after everything I'd heard. Number one, I can't stand Beyonce. Number two, I love the classic, right? So I went in there and I was like, this shit's going to be awful. I was bawling within 5 minutes. I was like, it's so beautiful.
Oh.
It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
That's the thing, because I haven't actually seen it for that reason, that I don't want to kind of it's not ruin the original, because obviously the original is always going to be there. But yeah, it's kind of like when they do a remake of a program or a film. Sorry, I'm always a little bit cautious with it because I'm like, oh, especially if it was one of my favourites.
The thing is, I'm a big Gilbert Gottfried fan. I think he's amazing. And Iago is like just as iconic as Timon and Pumbaa, just as iconic as anybody in that film.
Yeah.
And he just sounded like a parrot. He didn't have that sassy parrot thing that he had in the original. And I felt sorry, I didn't mean to spoilers, by the way, spoilers.
Oh.
So it was
been
just
out for weeks.
It was just one of those things. I thought they could have just got Gilbert to do it again because he's been doing it long enough now. He did the series, the 3 movies. That motherfucker lives off that Iago part,
Oh, exactly, and especially if the actor or actress is still alive. I think, especially if they did a good job with it, the original one, and everyone loves that part, give it back to them.
Yeah, it was a good experience because I went to the cinema expecting to, get stabbed or something in the back row. I took my little boy, and we had one of the best days ever.
Oh, you took your little boy as protection, did you?
Oh yeah, I was like, I'd be like, Timmy, fuck him up. Do it for me, like.
Yeah.
And going through what I'm going through at the moment, going through a lot of, I'm struggling a lot with my anxiety, and I'm doing a lot of therapy with my CBT and things like that. Like, them days are the days to treasure, and I really did appreciate it. So that movie, the movie that I really wanted to hate, will always be like one of those special movies for me now. It's really weird how things turn out, right?
Yeah, and also probably helped because you went to see it with your little one as well. So the fact that it's his first. Well, is it his first introduction to Lion King, or did he see the original?
He saw the original, and he recognised a lot of the characters, and he was like, and the bit where, spoilers, Scar dies at the end.
No!
When Scar dies at the end, Timmy was going, yes! Yes! He's 4.
Oh.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. It's a bit like when I went to see Endgame. I actually went on my own, but obviously there was people that I was sort of sitting next to, and there was child that was sat to the left of me. Not that it's relevant whether he was left or right of me, but either way, he was to the left of me. And his dad was obviously next to him as well. And then we saw an Endgame, and again, it's spoiler alert, you know, I'm not going to say who dies, but when a main character dies, so that's the kind of spoiler. This child, his heart, absolutely, you could feel his heart break as he was absolutely sobbing his heart out. Yeah. And it was so touching as well, because because obviously it was quite an emotional scene. So you kind of feel like you're welling up a little bit yourself, you know. I'm not like a typical girly girl. I don't cry at all sorts of things. I'm, quite a tough cookie, but that, I could feel it in the pit of my stomach, sort of, but then, when this kid was absolutely breaking his heart and his dad was like, do you want to cuddle? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh.
And the thing is, as much as we love doing what we do, having to be on top of all the news and things like that, it kind of ruined it for me. Because, we knew from the beginning, before the film even started, we knew because of whole contract talks and things like that. So it's kind of like, well, fuck you, podcasting.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I did manage to avoid any spoilers for the film. It was a couple of weeks later that I watched it. And so anytime anyone sort of mentioned it, I was just like, no, turn it off. But yeah.
To be fair, now as far as spoilers or trailers and things, now I watched the first one and then that's it. No more. Because I ruined it for the last 2 Star Wars movies. I ruined it. For the last couple of Warner Brother Justice League type movies, I've ruined it. So no more now. I'll do one trailer. If you want any fucking news, go to comicbook.com. I'll give you the website myself.
Yeah. I see, because if I really, really want to see a film, I won't watch a trailer.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
It's good. Yeah, because
I agree.
I like the surprise, and it's a bit like with the second chapter of It, because I love horror films, and I went to see that without seeing anything, and there was a bit that actually happened in the trailer. Have you seen it, or?
I haven't seen the movie. I haven't been able to go and see it yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. So in that case, I won't say the next bit that I was going to say, but there was a bit anyway that really, really made me laugh during the cinema, but nobody else around me laughed. And I was just like, what the hell is going on in this room? It was a really funny bit. But, in my mind, it was a really funny bit anyway. Yeah. But, it's always weird, isn't it? Because it's like you've got all these people that are sort of like, you can feel the tension in the room because they're all like ready to jump out their seats. But I did jump a couple of times, but it was more when I laughed and nobody else laughed. I was like, is there anyone else here?
I'll tell you, one of the best experiences I ever had in the cinema was when I went to watch Saw 3 all that time ago. And spoilers, by the way, if you've not seen Saw 3 yet.
I personally have, but yeah.
There's a scene where the guy gets his skin taken from his head and they put a drill bit on top of his skull. And I looked across and there's this bodybuilder about 4 seats down from me, and he's jacked up, he's huge, and he's got his hands over his eyes. He's like, I can't look at this. I was laughing. I was the only one laughing in the cinema because I was laughing at the guy down from me. Everybody else was horrified. It was so funny. I was like, really?
Yeah. That reminds me of something that happened the other day, actually, as well. I was in the doctor's surgery just for like a diabetes checkup, and I, just sitting there waiting, and there was an elderly gentleman who came in, and obviously he must have been sort of a little bit on the deaf side, because when he was talking to the receptionist, he was very loud. And obviously it being very quiet, we could literally hear everything he was saying. And he said to the receptionist, "Oh yeah, my wife really needs to see someone because she's shitting and puking all over the place." And so I was like, okay, that's good. And then, I was like, okay, I can keep control of myself at this point. And then he went on to say that, oh yeah, she needs to get some ointment for her ass as well. I just roared.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse, but oh my god, when he just said it and like nobody else is, nobody else is laughing. Everyone's sort of pretending they can't hear it, and I'm just dying.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like when life gives you lemons, eh?
Yeah. Unless you're Elon Musk. Have you seen all this news about Elon Musk lately?
No.
I think it's a bit cryptic what's going on with him at the moment, but a few months ago he said that he's going to create lemons with legs that will sprint towards the hungry when they need food. So he thought he'd come up with an idea that would fix world hunger. And he tweeted a couple of weeks ago, I think it was like last week or something, that he murdered his lemons because they'd betrayed him. And
oh my god!
And he ended the tweet with "Fuck science, don't everybody." What did he say? Fuck science, don't anybody ever do it, or something like that. So basically, he came up with this idea that just didn't work. Rather than just go, "We failed, it doesn't work." He's like, "Fuck science, yo!" It's really, really funny. Everybody's like putting, there's these like stock photos of like lemons with like legs on it and everything. I'm like, it's obviously cryptic. He hasn't made literal lemons with legs that walk towards people. It's a metaphor, It's so funny how people be.
Yeah. It's so stupid. And also, why would a homeless person want a lemon of all things?
Yeah, I know exactly. Who the fuck finds a lemon and goes, bites into it like an apple? Well, you homeless, so you get lemons. Oh,
oh, dearie me. Yeah, I've sort of come up with a new slogan or whatever with that, because obviously the saying is that, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade or whatever. Mine is, when life gives you lemons, make the face. Which for an audio medium is not great, but we've all done it.
If you're wondering what face Gemma just made now, go and grab a lemon and bite into it. Look in the mirror. Literally, do it right now.
Yeah, right now.
And what?
Stop the podcast.
You get up. You're not got up yet, mate. Get up. In fact, Graham, if you're listening, bite into a lemon, send us a picture. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Please do. Oh dear. What a great nerdy conversation. I've really enjoyed just chatting about nerdy stuff.
This is what we do.
Yeah, I've normally got a grumpy bumhole. Bumhole? No, let me say that again.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. First, talking codswallop, he talks to a grumpy bumhole.
Yeah, I was trying to be PC for some reason, and then I thought, that sounds worse than an arsehole. So, yeah, I've got a grumpy arsehole who usually moans about stuff, so it's quite nice. It's quite refreshing to have somebody that isn't grumpy.
Well, I don't know. I have my moments. I do have my moments.
Yeah.
I have my classic rants on Thors-Kin,
Yeah.
They're always the best, though. They're always the best when you can just and that's what I mean. I'm going for this therapy at the moment. My best therapy at the moment is this.
Yep.
Talking to you, talking to the guys at Thors-Kin, and even the biscuit stuff is a bit more strict. There's a lot more rules involved with that sort of thing. But even that, just talking to a microphone, letting off your feelings.
Yep.
If there's anybody that wants to pick up a mic and start podcasting, it's fucking amazing therapy. So just do it, man. That's what I say.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I agree. And even if you haven't got a co-host as well, because I started this podcast without a co-host. I did it that every week there'd be someone new that I'd speak to, or I'd speak to myself. I mean, now that I've got co-hosts, I find it awkward just sitting there talking to myself now. But, at the beginning, it was a thing that you can do. So you can just get your feelings out there and just go for it. Why not?
I don't know, man. It is, yeah, it can be good. I mean, I found it really difficult talking to a wall.
Yes.
When I used to monologue the biscuit, and I used to be sitting there where I am now, but looking at the wall.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'd just be like, today on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, we've got and don't forget. And I'm just sat there staring at my clock on my wall, and I'm just like, this is bad. So I had to get people in to help me.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm a social person. I need to bounce off someone,
Oh, me too. Definitely. Yeah. And and ironically, I'm also got anxiety issues as well. So it's kind of like, I think that is quite a common thing as well, isn't it? That, it's like not a common thing that people got anxiety issues, but almost like in this medium, people have got either depression or mental health or, anxiety problems or anything like that. So yeah, it's a way of releasing without having to worry too much. And you can also edit it out. If you said something and you think, I really shouldn't release that, you just take it out.
Unless you're like me and you like to torture yourself. I mean, I'm really socially awkward at times. I mean, I accidentally told two girls to quietly shuffle off on Thors-Kin once by accident. It was quite bad. I don't do well in rooms full of strangers. Yet you'll find me schmoozing with the mayor and MPs and local celebrities at some event somewhere, and I'm the one sweating in the corner trying not to be seen. It's fucking weird why I do that to myself.
Yeah, because I don't know about you as well, obviously because you do the Comic-Con scene as well. Like, if there's a celebrity that I want to go up to and have a chat with the microphone, I'll go straight up to them. Yeah, obviously if there's a queue, I'll join the queue. I'm not rude. But I'll go straight up to them, ask them questions if they're happy to do it and whatnot. With ease. I do it with ease because I think to myself, well, it's kind of the reason that they're here. Not necessary to do an interview, but they're here to interact with people. But then when I'm walking around... Whoop.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. When I'm walking around the floor and, like you've got all these people that are walking around in cosplay and things, I find it extremely hard to just stop and speak to people. I get real problems talking to people that way.
It's on the flip side as well. It's like the people that do cosplay, they're like, if you ask them to take off their costume, providing they got clothes on underneath, or they're usually really awkward people.
Yeah.
Usually people that really struggle. But the first time I did Comic-Con, I got whisked straight into a press conference. It was really weird. They were just like, here, go and talk to Batman. And I was literally talking to Batman within 15 minutes of me being there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but compliments are the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, somebody comes up to me in the supermarket and they're like, I'll be wearing my Biscuit t-shirt or something. And somebody be like, yo, I love your shit. Like, and I'll be like, yeah, thanks. I really struggle with that.
Yeah. I really
talking
do.
to strangers. If I've got a microphone in my hand, I can talk to fucking anyone.
Yeah.
Where from Comic-Con, like yourself, I do find it a bit awkward.
Yeah.
So hats off to you for being able to do that, because I struggle.
Yeah, well, normally I'm hoping that I'm with somebody as well so that person can go off and do the interviews as well with Joe Blogs. But
I mean, even walking up there, getting towards the person, it can be well done. Your reward is there. You did that. Well done.
Yeah, because I like to always, although I've got the anxiety and whatnot, I like to always push myself past the comfort zone. But, not in a dangerous way, but, I like to make sure that I do things, because otherwise I know I regret them otherwise. So,
yeah.
But even down to like if I was going to, into a pub where I know that a load of my friends are, but I've got to walk in on my own, I suffer badly with the anxiety going in that way. Even though, like I said, it's all a bunch of friends that are just waiting for me, Yeah.
It's. I mean, I have a Tascam microphone, and I did start doing a lot of vox pops. Hi, would you mind talking to me? I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. How are you looking forward to Christmas? Microphone in the face. No, sorry, I'm busy. And they walk past me. That's a shot. That's a bullet right to the shoulder right there.
Yep.
And I hate that sort of stuff. I mean, at a Comic-Con, if you can get into a press conference and you can stick your microphone on the table, you can sit in the crowd and put your hand up that way. That's a lot easier, I find. But walking up to someone and going, would you mind speaking to me for 5 minutes? Oh, that kills me. And I got Oktoberfest tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a lot of strength, I've got to tell you.
Have a couple of drinks before you go. You'll be all right.
I'm going to do, like we said, I'm going to do two interviews when I'm sober, 2 when I'm pissed. Let's see what that goes.
Yeah. It might be a more, more confident but less competent version of you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But it would be good to have the comparison of the two, definitely.
I did that once. I did do that once. I did a beer festival, camera beer festival, and the first couple of interviews I did were great. The second two I couldn't even air. I was like, I was really loud. I was shouting down the microphone. It's so bad.
Oh dear.
Are you going to MCM London?
No, I don't think so. We've applied for press passes, but I haven't been able to seem to get my foot in the door with MCM. Not yet. I've done it quite well with Showmasters. Like, I went to a load of them this year, but it's also kind of cost as well, so I'm probably going to avoid it anyway because of cost.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
When is it anyway?
I'm not sure. I think it's November. Is it November? I think it's November. I know the one in Birmingham's November. They're usually around the same sort of time.
Yeah.
But they got a big cast. They got Simon Pegg and stuff there.
Oh, I might be sold into going now.
They've got one. They've got a big one going on in Telford. It's really funny because they've got the Wales Comic Con happening in Telford, which is not Wales.
No, exactly.
And I have emailed them 3 times. I'll be like, I am the most local podcast. I'm literally the only guy around that can do this sort of shit. Give me a press pass. I'm literally the only guy here to do this. And they're just ignoring me. I'm like, hello, local press. Like, give me it's nuts. So nuts. And that's Wales Comic Con. So if you don't give me a press pass, I'm going to write bad stuff about you on the internet.
Yeah, and so will I, just because. And my last name's Williams, so, you know. I'm as Welsh as it gets, all right? Well, I'm at least half Welsh anyway.
If you go onto the Wales Comic Con and look on there, they've got an amazing cast. Amazing cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really pissed off if I don't get to go, so...
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll keep my fingers, toes and eyes crossed for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would appreciate it when you could let me know, though, because it's really awkward walking around and seeing things.
One thing we're both probably going to go and do is watch Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, though. That's been going to be released.
Oh, I can't wait. There's kind of rumours, which, you know, we shouldn't really sort of talk about on mic, but, you know, when it might be, but we're sort of like mid this month, maybe early November sort of time. But it's nothing confirmed yet, is there? But
I'm trying to not be too optimistic about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be, I'm not going to be let down anyway, but I'm staying away from any trailers.
Yep.
Any spoilers, anything like that. I just want to go and enjoy it. Yeah, so.
Yeah. And we've already seen Ralph Carman's bit anyway, haven't we?
We did. Yeah, we have. Yeah. That was quite funny.
Yeah. Apparently that was his whole bit. Yeah. That's what he said.
That's funny.
Yeah. So he said, "Oh, that's brilliant. Well, we don't need to go and see it now then." But yeah, I am looking forward to that. And I hope they do enough. Well, it'd be interesting if they just do like the one location, maybe London, or if they're going to do like a few different locations. So
I think we're getting a full UK release though.
Oh, is
going
it?
to get a full? Yeah, I think so. That's what I heard. They're going to get a full UK release, but I don't know if they're going to do any of the roadshow shit that they're doing in America. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it.
Did you see that they've announced Clerks 3?
I didn't see that they've actually announced it. I did see that Kevin and Jeff were together at a signing.
Yeah, that was it. They've announced it. They're going to make it.
Oh, so he's actually on board now, is he? The thing is, I get a bit anxious though because they've done this kind of thing before. I think I'd rather kind of just be like, woo, but not get too excited just in case.
I don't think they'd do it a third time. I don't think they'd do that a third time because it'd be stupid to do it. Was it third or second time? This should be the second time they let people down. Yeah. Kev would be very, very stupid to do that. So I think if they say they're going to do it, they've got to do it now. They've got to.
Yeah. That's what I think as well. But then we're still waiting on Moose Jaws. If that ever happens. I think that kind of idea has gone out of the sort of being slung out of the park a little bit now though, because of obviously how Yoga Hosers and his other one. Oh my God, it's called Tusk went down.
Tusk is an amazing film, by the way.
Yeah. No, it is.
It's brilliant. I love Tusk. It's really, really good. And people give it lots of shit because I think it's the social convention to give shit to Tusk, you know. But I think all those movies came from a place where Kev wasn't making movies anymore, and he just wanted to make something, you know. Where now, like, he's suddenly back in the frame, isn't he? He's on IMDb. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, amazing what a heart attack can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give you a lease of life.
That's what he says. Yeah.
No, but that is, you know, it is good to see that he's making making more projects and stuff again. So, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Good.
Were you ever a backer of the Jay and Silent Bob computer game?
No. I didn't put any money towards that because I found podcasts just as that was all happening, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I did. I can't remember to be honest, it was that long ago. I can't even remember how much I put towards it or whatever now. But it's like every now and then I kind of get an email from them saying, we're still working on it. And it's like, it was 4 years ago. But
really?
Yeah. It may not be exactly 4 years ago. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was, but it was quite a while ago. But then at the same time, I suppose those kind of things, I don't know what it takes to make a computer game and how long it takes.
Isn't it the guy from Clerks 2 that's making it? What's the prissy character's name? Oh, what's his name? The one with
The Ring. One ring to rule them all.
One ring to rule them all.
Yeah,
him. I'm pretty sure it's him that's making it. I don't know.
Okay, it might.
I think that's one.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not 100% sure either, to be honest. I did know at the time, but it's kind of like when those emails come in, I kind of just go, oh yeah, quick read, delete, you know, because I'm like, I don't really need to know anything at this point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, with like Kev doing a lot with his movies now, and he's obviously on the road with you know, taking Jay and Silent Bob around now. Like we've had this gap in podcasts now. It's weird. It feels empty.
Yeah.
Like Babylon is the only podcast I will religiously listen to. You know, without that, I'm kind of like. I'm like John Travolta, you know, looking around.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really irritating as well because I keep seeing like lots of things like, you know, that would be perfect for the podcast that I want to send in, but I'm like, well, what's the point in sending it in because they're on a hiatus at the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I think I posted up on the, Kevin Smith fan pages. There was a girl who had, pink hair and she decided to plait her hair like in this really pretty way, but basically it looked like a giant cock on her head. So I was like, Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it?
Yeah, are the past episodes still behind a paywall? I don't know if they'd released them because I mean, I was about to say, well, you could go back and listen to old episodes, but if they're behind a paywall, then probably not.
Yeah, I think that they are, but I'm not sure. And to be honest, I've got quite a lot of podcasts I listen to, so in some ways it's quite nice when one of them drops off for a little bit, just to have a break. So
yeah. I mean, I will listen to. I mean, the guys that started it for me, really. I mean, Babylon was one of the Education Babylon were the two podcasts I joined onto. But the guys that made me realize I could actually do it was Matt and Justin from Two Broke Geeks.
Oh, okay.
They've been on my show before because I messaged them. I was like, you guys got no money. How the fuck are you doing this? So I thought it was for rich people, and they told me like kind of what I need and stuff.
Yeah. And
I started it because of them, and so I still listen to them. It's really weird. Like I still like listening to them. Yeah, they're good guys.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice because I've got like Tell 'em Steve Dave as well, which is the podcast with Walt Flanagan, Brian Johnson, and Brian Quinn. And
I like that show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the first ones that I started listening to. Actually, to be honest. Yeah.
Mine was Edumacation, and I love that. I love that so much. And we had Andy McElfresh on. He was a really nice guy. You should try and get him on your show. He's brilliant.
Yeah. I'll reach out to him and see if he's interested. That would be really good. I may need to listen to a couple of the episodes to get a little bit of background.
They are the best.
Okay.
They are the best. It's like Kev Andy comes around Kev's house. He sits there and he gets absolutely wasted. And then Andy McElfresh tries to teach him a lot of smart stuff while he's stoned. And because Kev's really stoned, he's like, you what? Like, they do what now? Like, it's really good. It's so good.
It's a bit like the one he does with Scott Mosier as well. What's it called? Smodcast, yeah. Obviously, it birthed it all, really, didn't it? But even that one, I've kind of gone off it a little bit. But when I know Scott Mosier's going to be there, I do listen because I love him. I love him and Kevin's dynamic. You know, the two of them together. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive when you listen to too many of Kevin's shows, though, because he does tell a lot of the same stories, doesn't he? But yeah,
he does.
But
I mean, I still watch Fat Man Beyond. That's really good.
Yeah,
with Mark Bernardin. But you know, like I said, I work so hard on what I do to create that it's only very rare I'll be like, oh, I've got a couple of hours spare. Why not listen to a podcast? You know, I'm usually like sat there like editing, and I did a 40-minute interview with John Wagner, and he's a broad Scottish guy, and he's got this really gruff voice. So when he goes really high, he goes really high. When he goes really low, he goes really low. It took me 3.5 hours to edit a 40-minute podcast.
I'm not laughing in a laughing kind of way. I'm laughing in a sympathetic kind of way because I know.
Yeah. Especially when it's something big like that. It's just fucking John Wagner. Like, he's like royalty of comic books, if you like, you know, so I had to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's I'm not even going to go into the background stuff that I have to deal with. I think I've moaned about it enough.
We're tortured souls as podcasters.
Yeah.
If we say listen to our podcast, fucking listen to our podcast.
No, I don't think it's us podcasters that are tortured souls. I think it's us editors that are tortured souls.
Yeah.
We're the ones that make it beautiful. Listen to us, please.
So, Eric Pfluger, if you're going to listen to this, by the way, if you're wondering why the 5-hour episode of Star Wars is going to take so long to edit, that is why. Okay. It's going to be a while before that one's out, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Also, if there's any listeners that have joined today because of Alex, please stick around and listen to previous episodes. We would appreciate you. Thank you ever so much. We are very funny.
Please do, actually, because there are a lot of people that listen to our show that collect podcasts. They listen to them in work, what have you. Stick around, guys, you know, because me and Gemma, I share a lot of my stuff to Gemma, and Gemma shares a lot to us because we work well together, and that's what this community is all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I don't know about you, but I think this is a good place to end this episode. What do you reckon?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed being on the show. Thank you to me. I've had a great time. Thanks. I didn't win the speedboat, but I've had a great time. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, before you go, did you want to sort of give out your social media and things like that?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've got the two shows. Thors-Kin Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. We've got a page and a group, and we're on Podbean and everywhere else you get your podcast. And that's Thors-Kin Podcast.
Yeah.
And the other one is for, I mean, people listen to it all over the place. Shrewsbury, the birthplace of Darwin, Charles Darwin. The name's Darwin, Charles Darwin. And there's the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and you can find that, the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast, which is on Facebook. You can get it on Podbean, everywhere else you get it. I hate doing all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
You just Google it. Fucking Google it. Shrewsbury Biscuit. Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Okay, brilliant. Well, in that case, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
And I've been Alex.
Yes, you have. And this, I haven't given you the name of the episode yet. And this episode is going to be called What a Load of Thors-Kin.
Yes! Love it.
Yeah.
I just want to say before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to Tom, to Shane, and to Moose, and to everybody else that takes part in Thors-Kin, because you guys are my rock, and I fucking love you guys.
Well, I guess now I've got to say, Andy, James, I tolerate you very well. God, Alex, you put me on the spot. I miss you both, really.